Okay, welcome back everybody. We're doing another spray paint test. This time it is the Behr spray paint chrome. And we have a whole bunch of different examples we're going to be trying it on here. But I just wanted to mention quickly, nowhere on the label does it say what kind of paint it is, if it's an enamel or what have you. So I don't know. But it's probably an enamel. It's probably very similar to the other chrome paints, but we're going to find out. We're always hopeful that they actually spray like the cap, but now this cap is not sprayed. This cap is a special process that they make to look chrome, but it's very likely not what it's going to look like, but we hope it's going to be close. What I did here for the plastic ones, I pre-sprayed some primer on one of them to show the difference between a primed surface and a plastic surface, bare plastic, because oftentimes a paint will be hot enough to etch the plastic. Sometimes they're not, sometimes they are, but we're going to find out. Curiously, over here on the styrofoam, that would be the big indicator. If you're wondering what on earth happened here, I was trying to pre-spray the surface with some primer, and the primer itself ate into it. So we're just going to spray over all of it all together. Here's going to be a test on just different type of plastic bottle, like the cap is HDPE, and the main part of it is number 1, whereas these are polystyrene. And we have a metal test and a wood test with a tongue depressor. And then we're going to be doing, there's another metal test over here. And then we're going to be doing some other tests. We're going to spray it on glass. And I'm hoping for a really spectacular finish on that, because it's smooth, which for chrome paint, a smooth surface can be important for reflectivity. And that's why I picked these other surfaces. This is part of a ceiling fan. Very smooth surface to try to get it to reflect. And then, as the main event, this is another part of that same ceiling fan. Should look really spectacular if the chrome paint is really shiny like chrome. And we'll paint like half of that just to see the difference. And same thing with these here. Paint half of this, or I don't know, if I get carried away I might paint the whole things. And that's just a basic explanation of what we're doing. Let me set up the other camera and start spraying. Okay, here is what we've got. I'll get up, let's see, I'll get up close to try to, the shadows. Okay. Here's the best I can do. Showing how it did. Preliminary results, of course, this is just one coat. It's looking like it has more of that aluminum appearance that chrome paints usually have. And it definitely did etch the styrofoam, so it is a hot paint. Oh, yeah, okay. So the primer on the knife prevented it from reacting to the paint. That saved the plastic by providing a coating there. I hope I'm showing that. I can't quite see the camera. But yeah, if you have a hot paint, just use a primer and you're fine, unless your primer is too hot for the surface as well. But now here on the metal parts, same thing, nice smooth appearance, but it does look more like aluminum than chrome. And on the glass and on the metal. There's a better look. Okay, from this angle we'll look at everything again, which we can't really do because they're turned the other direction. Sort of. Oh boy. Anyway, sorry. Very challenging angle. We'll just go straight over to the medallion here. I mean, it looks good. I will definitely be putting on a second coat. We won't go any farther than that. But it says coat within an hour or after 24 hours. So your average 5 or 15 minute second coat is going to be the norm. And that's what we'll do next. So far it just kind of looks like silver paint. But we will see. Okay, second coat going on now. Okay, so that's the end of coat number 2, and I think that pretty much does the trick. Now, I do think it's actually shinier on the second coat. This is looking pretty good to me. It's still not necessarily reflective. Well, yeah, it is reflective. Look at that. But how reflective? We'll try on some of these other surfaces. But I'm sure you recognize that. I'm pretty sure that's going to be the screenshot for the preview picture. Looking good. Now over here, now I had forgotten to mention that it is spraying just fine on Behr plastic and primed plastic, polystyrene. So this would be fine like on a model car. It's not going to etch the plastic. Try to get around to another, well, maybe blocking the sun is better. Yeah, look at there. Here's the best look at it in the dark. So that's what we have. That's the primed surface, and that's the not primed surface. No effect on polystyrene. This is good. And then there is the metal. And then I put it on really heavy on the wood. I was trying to see if it can, I actually, against the instructions, put way too much on there just to see what would happen, and it seems fine. So look at these other surfaces. Oh, the sun's just at a funny angle. I couldn't resist spraying the styrofoam again, and it reacted even more. It's not good on styrofoam. The bottle is looking okay. Let's see what that looks like in the dark. Is that reflective? Yeah, look at there. We are getting a reflection. Hey, not bad. Makes me wonder what a third coat will do. Pretty good. And then here on the, this is steel that's painted to look like brass. It's not actually brass. That looks pretty good too. And is it reflective? Chrome is a funny thing. Yeah, it's reflecting just fine. This is not bad. This is pretty good. Wow, you can actually see the camera. Excellent. And the glass. Yeah. Okay, so it looks great in the dark, and then when you hit it with full sunlight, it kind of looks like aluminum again. But what we'll do now is we will let this all cure overnight, and we'll take a final look at everything after it completely dries, so that it'll be an accurate assessment of how it looks when it's done. So the next scene will be 24 hours later, and at that point we'll wrap it up. But it seems to be a really good chrome paint. All right, see you there. Okay, so here we are on the next day. It has been 24 hours. All this stuff is cured, and this is what it looks like. And, you know, pretty good. It's certainly not like the cap, but pretty good as chrome paints go. One thing I did like about this paint is that it didn't penalize you for putting it on really thick. Sometimes when you put the paint on, especially chrome paint, really thick, by the time it dries, it all wrinkles up. But this one, I did actually put a third coat on after the filming yesterday. And so this is 3 coats, and so that's why it looks so nice and thick. And like I'm saying, it's great that it didn't wrinkle up. Here on the fork, this is curious. I was putting the primer on the knife to protect it, and the fork looks better. So on polystyrene, definitely don't use a primer coat. Just put it right on there. It's going to look the best. And the metal, and there's the glass, and that's not a bad looking plastic bottle, is it? The medallion I thought was going to look the best, but oh, you know, it looks pretty good. And then there's just the metal box. And so that wraps it up. I'm going to say it's pretty good paint. I like the, really like that. Let me get close on that. I like the chrome wood idea. Really looks pretty cool to me. Anyway, that wraps it up. That is the Behr chrome paint. I think it is enamel. It's acting just like all the other chrome paints, so I think it's an enamel. And I gotta give it I give it an A for chrome paint as they go. And I appreciate y'all watching. Stay tuned for the next one. I'm not sure what the next spray paint is gonna be, but there is a lot more in the box, so stay tuned and have a good one.